Hello, beautiful soul. Today, I want to talk about something that I believe is quietly discouraging some of the most capable, powerful women that I know. The big numbers, the big wins, and the big launches, and the missing context behind them. Because if you've ever looked around the online space and thought, why does it feel like everyone's moving faster than me? Or am I behind? Am I doing something wrong? Then this episode is for you. I'm going to walk you through my own journey, the years that never made it into the highlight reels, the identity shifts that took longer than the internet would have you believe, and why what looks like slow growth is often just deep, sustainable leadership being built in real time. This conversation is about reclaiming dignity in your own timeline and remembering that nothing powerful is built without roots. The coaching industry glamorizes outcomes while erasing timelines, foundations, and prior capacity. And that distortion is burning people out, discouraging brilliant leaders, and creating false expectations about growth. What I have been witnessing is people are questioning themselves. They're having failed launches. It's harder for them to attract clients. People are thinking it's harder now. People are comparing their chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. And you might feel just within just this shame, this discouragement, feeling like maybe this isn't for me. I've heard so many coaches in the industry who are like, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe this isn't for me because why should it feel this hard? And it's because we've been fed the lie that success is quick. Where can I get a quick win? Where can I get a quick fix? Where can I make this income really fast, right? Where can I get clients fast? Where can I build and grow fast? And to be honest, you are building a legacy, you are building a movement that takes time to grow and evolve and build the foundation for that. And so often we are comparing ourselves to the coaches who have been in the industry for years. Let's say 2018, I feel like that was like the prime time. If you have been an online coach between that timeline, you've already built your base. So anything that's arising from that, your $1 million month, your $1 million years, that is all because you have built that foundation in the prime time. I mean, we had something wild happen in 2020. We had a pandemic. We had people becoming coaches, online coaches, and that was like the prime time, right? For that connection online because we couldn't have it in person. And what happened is that online became a breeding ground for whose dick is bigger, who can have the biggest launch. Look at this amount of money that my client made this week with zero other context. Celebration post with no timeline, right? How long have they been in business? This is a question no one's asking. Okay, your client just had a 50K week. How long have they been in business? What was their story? What was the previous context before they hit that 50K week? What audience did they already have? What skills, reputation, or capital existed before that win? Without context, comparison becomes self-betrayal. Your nervous system interprets fast success as a failure. Success takes time to come to fruition. So, what I really want to dive into today is my own journey. Like I said, the highlight reel that maybe you didn't see through all the years that I built my beauty educator empire and what I am building today, the timeline of what I went through this year, what the quantum leap actually looks like behind the scenes so that you're not questioning yourself. So you're not thinking, wow, I am so behind. You're not. You are right on time. First, I want to share with you my bridal hair education timeline because what you may have seen if you've been following me for a while is, wow, she has had so much success. And it was really through the years of 2018 until I shut everything down last year, where I built my online business. But what you didn't see before I exclusively became a bridal hair educator in 2018 is the 4 years prior to that, where I taught bridal hair while I was working behind the chair, while I was entering into competitions, while I was collaborating with brands, while I was networking with people, while I was doing weddings on weekends, while I was saying yes to everything, doing cut and color, all the things. I was doing all the things between 2014 and 2018. The one-to-one classes, which then expanded into the group education. My reputation built during those 4 years. Not to mention, okay, here's some more context. 2014, okay, if you're an OG Instagrammer, that was the influencer era. I was one of the first independent bridal hair educators. I was one of the first. And I utilized the Instagram platform at the prime time for me to be seen to attract the brand deals, for me to be seen to win the competitions, for me to be seen by my ideal dream clients. All of my reputation built throughout those 4 years. So that's why when I decided to take the 10x decision to go all in on bridal hair education in 2018, it was June of 2018 when I was moving from Florida to Raleigh, I said, that's it. I am no longer doing bridal hair. I am no longer doing cut and color. I am focusing only on being a bridal hair educator. That overnight success had 4 years of roots before I ever jumped. Not to mention the 15 years prior to that when I was styling hair since I've been 16 years old, which helped me master my craft, which was the foundation of me mastering my craft. Leaps land differently when there is soil beneath them, when there is a foundation beneath them. And so often we were just looking at where we want to go, the success, and craving it now. Why? Because our nervous system is like, ooh, I want this now. I could see it, I could taste it, I could smell it. I'm a visionary. I want it now. And we are living in a society where we are like with instant gratification. I mean, I'll give you an example. My daughter this week, she's like, Mom, I really want to go get these new Adidas before I go back to school. She just had winter break before I go back to school on Monday. I'm like, okay. She has a bigger size shoe. She's a size 11. And I'm like, okay. She's like, I want to go to the store and see if they have them. I'm like, no, we have to call the store to see if they have them because sometimes they don't have those bigger sizes. And okay, fine. We looked online. They didn't have them in the store. Great. Then I was like, okay, you're going to have to order them online. Okay, I want them delivered tomorrow. I'm like, Kylie, most places it's 3 to 5 business days for shipping. It's the weekend. And then the reality started to set in for her. Oh my God, I can't instantly have the thing that I want right now. And that's what I feel like our society has just normalized. Like, yeah, I can get it now. I'm a millennial, okay? We used to rewind and fast forward our videotapes. Like, I'm really dating myself right now. I'm 38 years old, okay? I came from the era of where you had to patiently wait to get what you want. And now it's like, oh, look, I'm going to quantum leap overnight. And that's what is highlighted. So then we think something is wrong with us when that quantum leap was actually all these other things combined, which gave you that quantum leap, right? Which made that quantum leap happen. So that was the realization for her. It was like, okay, you desired to have these shoes, but here is what actually needs to happen in order for you to get these shoes. And this is what you have to do. These are the aligned steps you have to take. You have to get on the list, the wait list to see when they're back in stock. You have to call the store to see when they might be back in stock. Or you have to order them from the site and wait. She's taking the aligned steps that she has to take, and maybe she has to wait a little bit longer, but she's taking the aligned steps she has to take to get what she desires, and she just has to wait a little bit. And this is what I feel like people are missing with the quantum leap. You still have to take that aligned action. There is still that building the foundation. Those are the things that we just tend to bypass. Why? Because social media is showing the highlight reel. Now I want to share, okay, what my quantum leap has looked like this year. I shared the bridal hair education one, okay? I shared the context behind building a multi-six-figure beauty educator brand, how I landed over brand deals with over 10 different brands, collaborations, magazine features, all the things. That was not from 1 year of me claiming, okay, I'm going to be a bridal hair educator, and then I blew up. That was 4 years in the making. This past year, the end of 2024 into 2025, my identity that I burnt and I rebuilt, okay? This was the most massive, I'm not even going to call it a 10x jump, okay? This was a 100x jump that I made this year, not 10x, 100x jump. I have never, ever, ever, ever done this deep inner work at this level and depth. I have never identity shifted this massively, which is why I know the return of this quantum leap is going to be tenfold, hundredfold. Like, I just feel it in my body. I just feel it in my body. But what I want to share with you is when I first shut down all of my beauty educator programs in December of 2024, January of 2025, this is what I assumed. I assumed this because I was seeing all of the incredible amounts of money that online coaches were making. And I'm like, oh, I already have 100K followers. And of course, they're going to follow me along the journey and sign up for my programs. Like, I thought, my ego was like, yeah, of course, people are going to automatically come with me. But here's the reality of this identity shift that I made here. Okay. I raised my standards big time. I changed who I was available for, and I stopped working with who I could help and save, and I chose who I want to lead, who I desire to lead. When you change identity, your external reality needs time to recalibrate. So I could feel this inner change within me. I can hold these standards, but that's the key. You have to hold your standards through the jump, through the leap. And through this leap, the outside reality, it needed to catch up with me. I wasn't going to, have a 100K launch right away. Why? Because I lost thousands of followers after I made this transition. I gained thousands of followers in this transition, and that takes time to really set the foundation for new messaging, for my new brand, for the trust to build with my newer audience. Whether it's been my audience that's been following me for years in the beauty industry, right? Getting to know this new version of me, because this is really a new version of me, or if it's new people coming into my world, right? It takes time for them to resonate with my content, to binge my content, for them to connect with me, right? It's not that I failed. It's because I repositioned everything. And I am grounded and I know, okay, if I hold here, this is where the quantum leap happens. And that is where a lot of people don't want to hold, is in that in between, in the void where the income dips, where the outside proof isn't showing yet. But because of the nervous system mastery that I have learned, I've been able to hold and feel safe in my body through this time of the void, through this time of the expansion. This is all a part of the journey. I'm not sharing with you right now, oh my God, I just made $1 million month, 100K month, $1 million year. And yet I don't feel behind because I know this is part of the foundation building game. And to be really realistic, I haven't been solid with this new messaging for the Iconic Woman movement it's been almost a full year. It's been about 8 months because the Iconic Woman movement was really solidified, and she grew and evolved, but she was really solidified in the month of April of 2025. And I feel like I started to get really solid with my messaging over the summer. So that's like 7 months, not even. That's really not a lot of time. During that time, I had to tighten my messaging. I was calling in a new caliber woman, building an entire new ecosystem and way in which I build the foundation of my business and how I produce my content, how I share my content, how I grow my business, because this is a totally different business than I built before with my beauty educator business. Plus, platforms have changed. In that time, I've been doing all of these things, which is taking the aligned action to get the desired result. The internal and the external timelines, they don't match up right away. But I have felt so grounded and certain in my body where I know the outside reality is going to catch up. There have been little bursts of it throughout the year, whether it's speaking events that I got asked to speak on online summits, in other people's programs, on other people's podcasts. October was a month. That's where I like blew up. And that is when I had my headliner program, which was like, that is so funny. I'm teaching you how to, speak and lead on stages and podcasts. And here I am having my best month of speaking engagements. You're going to have the months where the income drops. You're going to stabilize your income while building. And it's about choosing sustainability over the fantasy of, look, I just made a 50K month and la 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 la. It's all because I manifested it in this. And it's like, okay, but also you did all these other things and that's why it happened and landed this week. Choosing regulation over desperation. I'm choosing that. I'm choosing to doing this from a grounded space, not through scarcity, not through urgency, not through being desperate, but from a grounded, regulated space. And that's why this is going to work. The quantum leaps without the context are so dangerous. So I want to clarify what a quantum leap actually is. It's not skipping foundations. That is the most important component of a quantum leap. It is the foundation building. It is you shifting the identity and becoming the version of you that you need to be to get the desired external outcome. You cannot skip that foundation. You cannot bypass your capacity. You have to build that capacity within and safety in your body within while you are in the void, while you are in the quantum leap. What is missing from most quantum leap stories is the support that was received, the regulation, the structure, the time. A quantum leap isn't fast, it is clean energetically. And you will feel the difference in your body. You will feel the difference in your body. God, this story, when this comes to its full fruition, this is some story that I have here to share with you, okay? 2025 was just the pre-show. Okay, this year I feel it in my bones. This is going to be where all these external things are going to come up, and I'm going to be like, see? And I'm going to speak specifically into each part of the identity shift that I had to hold in order to get there. And that's actually what we're going to get into in our next episode about holding the standards, the diamond standard of leadership, and holding under pressure. What I see coming in 2026 is more coaches who are stabilizing income while they are building. Less obsession with virality. More emphasis on depth, trust, and presence. This is what I foresee. And this is going to weed out a lot of the leaders who are not doing it in this way. And those are the ones that are going to suffer. So I just want you to realize, after tuning into this episode, you are not behind. There's nothing wrong with you or the way that you're doing or approaching things. You are still early in this chapter. So quitting now or feeling like this overwhelm, right? Quitting now would just interrupt your momentum that hasn't had time to compound yet. Maybe you've been delaying a launch of something because you're like, what's the point? My other one was a failed launch, and that lives in your body, right? That's like a stored trauma, like, oh my God, I don't want to have to launch again and have another failed launch. No, it's just information that you're collecting. And we're going to talk about this in another episode as well. Quitting now would interrupt your momentum that hasn't had time to compound yet. Trust the timing, trust the evolution, trust the foundation building, trust your inner safety and capacity and identity shift that when you are grounded will show in your external reality. If you're still here, still refining, still showing up, still telling the truth, you're exactly where you need to be. And if this episode landed for you, if you felt something in your body that just went, I want you to hear this clearly. You do not need to be fixed. You do not need to rush. You do not need another strategy stacked on top of an unregulated nervous system. What you need is space, detach for a minute, perspective, and support from someone who could see the full picture of where you are and where you're actually meant to go next. And for the woman who knows she wants deeper support, I offer longer one-to-one mentorship containers where we work together over time to stabilize your leadership, expand your capacity for more income, more visibility, more growth, more impact, and build something that actually holds up long-term without burnout or sacrificing yourself. If you feel the pull, you could apply through the link in the show notes. And if this episode supported you, I'd love for you to share it with another woman who might need this reminder, or leave a review so this message can reach the women who are quietly questioning themselves right now. You are not behind. You are right on time, and you are building something real. Remember who the fuck you are, icon. Love you.